Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some very fun news over here for the brand new PlayStation 5 updates when it comes to their console, one of the most popular games on the entire planet, Fortnite, and what we're kind of expecting, which is being utilized quite well, how they're going to utilize it, and what's going to be changing when it comes to these brand new updates. And it's kind of fun to go talk about this because we've been kind of somewhat seeing how some games do very well, and they're implemented well, and they're just a good vibe, and then some games have been absolute flops. Think like Silent Hill, think those Jedi games that have not really utilized the Pssr well. And this is where it gets a little bit intriguing because this one popular game has not even decided to go and utilize the Pssr. They completely said no Pssr. We're just going to go and take advantage of the core, basically, I guess, hardware itself for the console itself. And with that, they somehow still made a really big change up and upgrade. So we're going to go talk about this, talk about the future, talk about how the implementation is actually going to maybe be even better for future games out there. And as well, Unreal Engine, one of the biggest game engines out there. And well, how it's going to be very cool and nice and nifty. So let's go and talk about that. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well for all of our affiliate links down below if you want to pick up your consoles yourselves. And of course, subscribe here, our second YouTube account, the Twitters and Twitch down below for your bonus giveaway entries. And let's go and dive on into this kind of cool and nifty video. So as you guys probably know, the PlayStation 5 Pro has had a lot of issues as of these past few weeks. We've been kind of saying some games have been doing great. And some games have been kind of bad, or some people have even wanted to not even have the Pssr implementation into their consoles. And that kind of happened with the Avatar game. Some people are assuming the overall vibe and what they were kind of given wasn't really that good. They weren't happy with the specs, they weren't happy with the resolution. There was only defaulted down to one option setting for the resolution and frames and all that, and people just weren't really happy with that. And I wouldn't be either. Like, if you add more, it's a win. If you get rid of stuff and kind of soft lock stuff into the Pssr, not a good vibe. And some other things like Silent Hill haven't implemented things well, but some other games have done phenomenal, and mainly the PlayStation Studio games have done good. But we actually have another very intriguing brand new run over here where one of the most popular games on the entire planet, Fortnite, is actually now on the PS5 Pro. And apparently Epic deployed a huge improvement, and also instead of focusing more on the Pssr and trying to utilize that random AI technology, that weird copy paste technology, they decided just to say F it and go and try to rock out and just utilize ray tracing more. So they're still utilizing the console, still utilizing the AI implementations, and utilizing that slightly better CPU, GPU, but they are mainly trying to go and utilize the ray tracing and bolster up the game that way. And as well, this is going to be an even bigger deal because the high level of this video is that Epic themselves on Unreal Engine, they can basically go and fine tune and work with PlayStation themselves to make any future Unreal Engine game that's developed utilizing either the Pssr or just using this brand new TSR AI implementation to basically make any other future Unreal Engine developed game also run nicer. Think about it this way. If you're Ubisoft and have your own random engine in-house that you made for your Assassin's Creed games or all of those, you have to also implement all that Pssr or that ray tracing or that PS5 Pro implementation. But if you're something like Epic and Unreal, then you can basically go and build it yourself with your in-house devs that would also then allow other game companies utilizing the Unreal Engine to basically just go copy and paste it and basically kind of once again do that fine-tuning work that PlayStation probably should have did. And as you yourself as a game basically engine maker, you're then able to go and implement all this type of stuff into your console itself. So that's kind of the high level of this one, and that's kind of why it's cool. So let's go talk about the fact that the Fortnite itself is actually getting a complete makeover, and I'm a little bit excited to go play the brand new Fortnite mode myself. So basically, there's a huge big boost over the base PS5 and also higher resolution, but once again, they decided not to even run with Pssr and just utilize their own TSR AI implementation instead. So let's talk about this. So basically, Sony's PlayStation 5 Pro is the most capable console money can buy right now. So it's only that we should see Epic's Fortnite receive a substantial upgrade, and it did. The Pro's extra rasterization, I've never even heard of rasterization before, performance is put to good use in delivering higher resolutions up against the standard model, but it's not really a good game-changing difference because they still have to go make stuff better. Like, it's a slightly better console, so the specs are slightly better, but they have to have a chance to like utilize the stuff, utilize the Pssr, use AI, whatever it might be. And well, that's kind of like not the biggest change up, but they're trying to make it better in their own way, utilizing what they have. So instead, Epic deploys its higher end hardware ray tracing features to the 60 FPS mode of the game, offering a much improved level of global illumination and reflections, basically making the entire game look a lot better by just utilizing ray tracing. And it does so while maintaining its near on flawless performance level. And it's also interesting to note that one of Sony's big 3 enhancements isn't even being used, and they're basically saying we don't even want PSSR. So Epic prefers its own temporal super resolution technology, or the TSR, instead of the Pro's machine learning-based PlayStation spectral super resolution of the PSSR. And this is crazy because apparently it actually works. So instead of this, they have the slightly better hardware for the PS5 Pro, slightly better CPU, GPU, all that. But like I said, they don't even utilize the PSSR. They say, hey, our Unreal Engine that we probably spent billions of dollars to go and develop on into, we'll just use our TSR implementation instead. So it's crazy. So basically, Epic avoiding PSR for Fortnite makes sense. For one, the PSSR will be more expensive from a computational perspective. And in a world where the game dodgily runs at 60 FPS or 120, every millisecond counts. And then secondly, their big idea is that TSR avoids issues that the PSSR has. And that's basically saying like, hey, we just don't want to deal with it. Like we saw Silent Hill having issues. We saw the Jedi games having issues. Saw their games Avatar having issues. So it kind of makes sense that some game studios are just like, I'm just not even using the PSSR. Although this is the very first one we saw. We saw some other games out there not even utilize any of this technology at all. They just haven't made a PS5 Pro update, but this is the first time we've seen a PS5 Pro update with them choosing not to do the PSSR technology, if that makes sense. So they say, imagine this will be something we commonly see in the future for titles using Unreal Engine 5, which once again is what I was saying before, is at the high level, the Unreal Engine can go and like, all this can be implemented into any Unreal Engine game. And a lot of games and a lot of game companies will build on Unreal Engine. It's a very well-developed, proper, good game engine, and big AAA games will utilize utilize this. They do. They already do already. So it's cool if they have a chance to either fine-tune it with ray tracing and make it still optimizational and it still looks good on the PS5 Pro. It's going to be okay. But I think it's kind of nifty. It's intriguing that they're just saying no PSSR. We're like, we're done with it. Intriguing enough. So in effect, though, with Epic sticking with TSR for its showcase game, a message is being sent to the engine's creators about its licenses as well. So it's very intriguing. Although they did have a really big update, though, when it comes to ray tracing. To kind of go and show you guys a quick little glance over here from Digital Foundry. But like, they had a chance to go and showcase out better shadows, better reflections, better lighting, just on the PS5 Pro. Like, it is better on the PS5 Pro. Like, they actually did go make a huge improvement and huge upgrade. But it's surprising because, once again, they decided not to use the PSSR, which is the whole point of the console. But once again, if it's still utilizing AI and the console is still able to run this with, like, you know, the CPU, GPU, then at the end of the day, it's not the biggest deal if they just for some odd reason doesn't work. You know, it's fine in my opinion. But either way, it is a big improvement. People are saying this is a massive, massive improvement, which is still against crazy. There's PSSR. So the TSR stays and resolution increases. And at one point, they measured a 1080p internal resolution with Fortnite running on PS5 up against 1350p on the Pro in the same exact scene. So they're just getting better resolutions, and at the same time, you just kind of see more of a realistic approach. Like this, even as the screen is showing right this second, is just a more realistic reflectory thing. You can even see how even the PS5 itself looks a little weird, where these are like almost rendering every about like second or so. So you can kind of notice the splotch and the blotch with it, which I mean, still looks good. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, the Pro did look a little bit more realistic on its lighting effects, and it's once again crazy. I've said it 3 times that it's not using the PSSR. So basically over here, there's a 25% increase in axis resolution, intriguingly enough, but more in the order of a 50% increase in overall pixel count. That is quite the resolution bump, which does not align with the spec differentials between the PS5 and PS5 Pro, basically saying it's a huger, bigger increase we've ever seen. But also, they're saying it's also worth pointing out that for energy-saving reasons, the console versions of Fortnite pair back to the dynamic resolution scaling solution's upper bounds, and it's uncertain if a similar limitation is enforced on the PS5 Pro. And perhaps, though, the difference is surprisingly minor due to TSR applying to both, despite a seemingly vast gulf in resolution, pixel counts are not the story here. They're basically trying to say, like, resolution's way nicer, but at the end of the day, it's a huge, huge improvement, but regardless, like, it may not be the biggest focal point out there, because it doesn't really maybe necessarily change what you see at the end of the day too much, but it's still a big improvement nonetheless. Like, it's still pretty big. So ray tracing is where things get interesting, because it comes in 2 forms in Unreal Engine 5, and once again, the PlayStation 5 Pro is meant to increase ray tracing. This like they're marketing for it. And the part 2 is like they have PSSR, ray tracing, and just a better GPU. That's like their big 3. So basically, since it is a software base and a hardware base too, it can have a little mixture of both on what you want to focus on. So hardware ray tracing isn't common at all on console Unreal Engine 5 titles, although the classic Matrix Awakens demo did showcase, we showed that a few days ago, which may also have given the impression that it might be more widely deployed. Since then, nearly every single Unreal Engine title has shipped with a lower quality software ray tracing instead, which sucks because people want the better ray tracing. The fact that Fortnite on the Pro gets hardware ray tracing, though, says that they think it's doesn't really think it's a good fit for the base hardware, but it could be used in the PS5 Pro as an easy to use upgrade. So once again, though, it is actually looking nice because they kind of basically fine-tune it, made it so ray tracing is a big improvement. So it does say that it actually has been really improved on reflections, and I have a chance now to showcase up all these different things, which is I think is a huge improvement, because the better reflections we can have over here, the better. We can even see some of these reflections between the two, and it does look nice. Like, it's not like the biggest, craziest update once again, but it does have slightly better lighting effects, and it does look overall nicer. And even having just like your in-game character shadows does add a lot more immersion into the game itself. And like, I think it's a good improvement. Like, at the end of the day, like, you see like little extra like shadows underneath cars, so it doesn't look like it's all empty. I know you have more textures on this. You have, like, once again, ray tracing lighting. So instead of it just being pure like, or hoping for the best lighting, you can see stuff like this where it does look more realistic on the car, on the bumper, on the reflectory, like not seeing underneath it. Like, it does look more realistic at the end of the day. So I don't know, it's kind of a cool improvement that we have a chance to see this on Fortnite, and I want to hear your thoughts and comments on everything down below, because I do think it actually is a somewhat decent improvement. So all around good stuff, but also surprising they still never did use the Pssr, and they're still able to go make everything a lot better and improve it even more. Look at even the trees and the grass and all that does look nice. So maybe the Pssr is the problem, but everything else still looks great on the PlayStation 5 Pro. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on for a PS5 Pro giveaway, all the affiliate links down below, and the bonus giveaway links too as well. And give me your thoughts and comments and everything down below too. Love you guys.